Hey guys, it's Yophi here, coming to you in the car with the lesson. I'm going to try this angle to see if it works out any better. All right, so I get a lot of my questions from either students or adults who message me on Facebook and they want to know, or subscribers, and they want to know certain things. And one question I get a lot, and I answer it. You get the question of, where did God come from? Or who created God, right? That's a really interesting question, and I've had the answer for years, but it's just hard to explain it. So I'm going to try, all right, and I'm not an artist. I'm going to try and draw it out. So you can do this with me because it'll help, because visuals do help. But if not, just pay attention, all right? Because I have the answer. You all are looking for the answer of who created God. Watch this, okay? Might not be the answer that you like, but it's going to be the answer to the question. All right, for this, you just get a paper, pencil, and I want you to draw a circle, okay? I'm not an artist, so please don't try to make fun of my drawing, but it's just a circle, so. All right, in this circle, I want you to write the word time, okay? And I want you to write space, okay? Now, you've got, this circle is called time and space. All right. Why do we use the words time and space? Because if you look at Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, all right, it says that God created the heavens and the earth. All right. King James says that. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. The proper translation would be, in the beginning of God's creation of the heaven and the earth. Keyword creation. All right. So right there you have time, beginning. You have creation, you have space and matter right there. All of that is this circle here, okay? Time and space. Now, if everything in time and space is this circle, where in time, in the circle, where in the circle are you who just drew it? The answer is, you're not in the circle. You made the circle. You made time and space. So the question that you're asking is, where in time was the person who created time created? Do you understand what you're asking? You're asking an illogical question. Because if God created time, he started all of this, then how are you asking where in the circle was God created? God was not created in the circle. All right? So you have to understand that everything that you see in time, you've got all of this going on. You've got my house back there. You've got my car here. You've got my voice. You have everything happening. Everything that's happening is inside this circle. But the one who made the circle is not in it. So you're asking a question of where in time was the person outside of time. God is outside of time. And because of that, he was not created. So that's your answer. You're asking, who created God? The answer is, God was not created. Okay? So how do you have this? What scriptures in the Bible would show this? Well, what does God say? He says that he is the what? The beginning and the end. He is the beginning and the end. All right? Not he started at the beginning and he'll be there at the end. He is the beginning. He is the creator of this time and space. Okay? So God is infinite. Now I'm going to show you something else about infinity, because we use infinity all the time, especially when we're trying to get unlimited amount of time to complete our tasks on video games and all of this stuff. We love it. Let me give you a second picture to show you. The infinity sign is an 8 on its side, okay? All right, let's draw this. Now, this is infinity, right? I'm not talking about infinity stones. I'm talking about the sign infinity, right? Where is the beginning of this sign? It has no beginning. Okay? It's infinite. It has no beginning, it has no ending. So if you were to ask, where's the starting point and where's the ending point of infinity, there is none. Okay? So if God is infinite, where does he start? The answer is he doesn't. Where does God end? The answer is he doesn't. Do we start and end? Yes. I was born. One day I will die. I will have an ending. You will have an ending. This house will have an ending. This car will have an ending. The grass, the trees, the air, heaven, earth will pass away. But God will not. Okay? He is infinite. Now, I wanted to answer this because there are some people who worship the universe. You hear it all the time. You hear it on TV. You hear it. The universe gives you a sign. The universe is going to do this. The universe is infinite. Let me tell you why that's wrong. Okay? You're trying to make the universe God. If the universe has no beginning, right? Let's draw a little timeline here. Let's talk about now. This is what your timeline is going to look like. Okay? This is now. Now, if you say that the universe has no beginning, no ending, the universe is infinite, where does the universe start? It doesn't, right? Okay. If the universe doesn't start, how'd you get here now? Because time has to have a beginning in order to move forward. If it doesn't have a beginning and it was always here, then it doesn't move forward. That's why God is immovable. Why is God immovable? Because he is infinite. Okay? He is infinite. Because God is infinite, you can't move him. What does this mean? That means that God does not require your worship. God does not require your praise. God does not require anything. He is infinite. If every single person in the universe became an atheist, it would not move God at all. And that's a tough pill to swallow, that God does not need you. But he doesn't. He doesn't need you. He doesn't need me. He doesn't need this YouTube channel. He doesn't need anything. Everything that's done here is for your benefit. Why would God create time if he knew that people were going to choose wrongly? Because these people always have a choice. And the truth is that everything in time just reveals what choice you're going to make. God already knows who wants to be with him and who doesn't. But if he didn't give you the opportunity to express it in time, you would be able to say that he did it. You would be able to say that he's the one at fault. But if we're born in time and we have the ability to express everything of what we want in life, then if we choose to stay away from God, because that's what people who you talk about, God sends people to hell. No, we choose to stay away from God. We choose not to love him. If God gives us a choice not to love him, he has to do it in time. So all of these people who say that God is the one who was blamed for this and blamed for that, what do you think he created time for? He created time just so that you can say it's his fault. So that when all of it is laid out in eternity, outside of time, when we get outside of time, we will be able to see who loves God and who doesn't. That's all that is. That's all this is. Everything of what you have, every day you wake up is an opportunity to express whether you love God or whether you hate him. And if you love God, you're going to choose God. You're going to choose Jesus Christ. If you don't, you won't. So the people, you talk about God sends people to hell, that's not true. He created time and space, and he created all of this just so that we can have an opportunity to prove where our hearts lie. So the question is, where does your heart lie? Because if you're really seeking God, he shows up. God's will is for everybody to know him. So if you do not, it's not because God can't reveal himself. It's because you don't want to. If you want to know him, that's why this channel is here. That's why there are so many people who are putting their lives on the line to make sure that you can know who God is. If you want to know him, email me. If you don't want to know him, you continue on doing what you're doing. And then at the end of time, because time has an ending, remember it has a beginning and an ending, at the end of time, when you see him, God will give you exactly what you wanted, an eternity away from him. That's what hell is. Hell is just a holding cell, and then he throws hell and death into the bottomless pit. You will go to outer darkness. You will get as far away from God as you want to. Because in time, you proved that you did not want him, and God cannot force you to love him. He might even force you to be with him, but he cannot force you to love him. And anybody who's been in a relationship knows that. You can be in a relationship all you want to. You cannot force someone to love you. And God will not force you to love him. If you don't want him, all of time and space proves that you don't want him. And at the end of time, he will say, your wish is my command. Those who want to come over here will be here. Those who don't, you go there. But it's your choice. It's not anything that God makes you do. So I hope that that clears it up. Who created God? He was never created. Period. That's the answer to the question. When was God created? He wasn't created. Where was God created? He wasn't created. That's just the way that works. He wasn't. You were. I am created. He's not. The real question is not where God comes from. It's where are you going? Do you want to be with the Eternal One, or do you want to be eternally separated? I think the guy who made time and space has your best interests at heart. I'm choosing him. Hopefully you do the same. All right? Any other questions, you guys email me. You continue to email me, ask me. I'm going to try and answer them as best as I can. And we'll pray together. All right, you guys? Be blessed.